Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Sean Dex and I welcome you back to the Mango Growth for your daily Bitcoin USD analysis video. By the way, this morning we did cover Ethereum USD, so if you missed it, go ahead and check that one out. But in this video, we'll be focusing on the big daddy himself, Bitcoin, and Bitcoin making a powerful move to the downside yesterday and back on over to the upside, an equivalent, if not more powerful move. And hey, if you guys do remember, we did take a long around this area, right? 9,740-ish, and I actually closed my position, took profits around here this morning, 10,245. And in this video, I'll be covering why I decided to do that and what targets I have moving forward. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so here we have Bitcoin USD on the daily, and again, I do have these trend lines marked out because I know a lot of people are looking at this formation here as either a symmetrical triangle, a descending triangle. It doesn't matter really to me. I'm just going to be looking for major levels to be breaking and towards the downside. You guys know what I'm looking at, right? I'm looking at this yellow box territory over here at around 9,400 to 9,350-ish, and then again over here to the bottom at 9,147-ish and to 9,000. Now here's the thing, Bitcoin is not making it easy for anyone, especially if you're playing the lower time frames. If you're playing the lower time frames by like the 1 hour and the 4 hour, you're going to be getting whipped around a lot. The easiest trades are on the higher time frames, and by the higher time frames, I'm actually talking about the 4-day and the weekly, to be honest. Not even the midday, not even the 1 day. The 1 day is more of a mid time frame in my opinion. Now here's the thing, you do have trades to be taken over here, right? If you're looking at this trend line, okay, that's coming down from all the way here to here, if you're using the wicks and the candle bodies over here and the wick again over here, it's kind of sloppy, but I wouldn't disagree with anybody using this, right? Because you did get good trades off this. Over here at 10,900. By the way, I'm still a little salty on this one because I was long from this area over here, and I really should have taken profits on this one right over here, 10,900. Especially in hindsight, you have the trend line, this area over here, this area over here. But for some reason, I was looking for 11,200 on that trade. Ended up taking profits a lot later. But anyways, digressing a little bit over there. So this morning, however, I did take profits on my trade, and I'll be telling you guys why. Let me go ahead and turn on my ribbon template right here. As you can see, we are sitting at a lot of resistance. Bitcoin did make that move while I was asleep all the way up to around 10,400. If it closed above there, if it closed above at around anywhere about 10,300, in fact, if it closed anywhere about 10,300, as you can see, all these ribbons here, the blue 10-kin, the red 10 SMA, and the yellow 21 EMA, all coming in at that level, right? If we closed above there, I'd be like, you know what, I'm going to hold on to that position. That would have been a good trade, and hopefully would have led us to a long trending trade, perhaps to 16,000, 20,000. Because if he broke over there, right, that would have been a 10-kin, would have been a good move for me. It would have been good enough for me to look towards a move towards the Kijun over here at 10,700, and I think that would have had cascading effects. If we close over 10,700 after that, we would have kept going up and up and up and up, right? As you guys know, a lot of people are going to be looking at this trend line. If we close towards the Kijun over here, a lot of these breakout traders are going to enter, push the price up further and further and further. That's what I'm referring to. Okay, but we didn't do that, unfortunately. We closed underneath the 21, and as much as I want to be bullish as a trader, I got to be realistic, right? There's a time to be optimistic, there's a time to be pessimistic, and there's a time to be realistic. Over here, I'm going to be realistic and just be like, there's no trade to be had over here, in my opinion. Okay, Bitcoin is kind of in no man's land if you're looking at the mid time frames. That being said, the higher time frames do have some interesting things that are shaping up. And do I want to do it on this chart, or do I take a cleaner chart? Bitcoin is ticking down a little bit right now, and that my theme trade, which we went short this morning, by the way, is looking good too now, 217-ish. We're seeing that those 1 hour candles. If you guys missed the video, go ahead and watch the theme video. Now I'm going to switch on over to the 2-day. I'm going to clear out all of our horizontals, and there we have it. As you guys can see, Bitcoin not printing a pretty picture on the 2-day either. We are under all major levels, right? Sitting under the 10-kin, sitting under the Kijun, sitting underneath the 21 and the 10 SMA. In fact, this push up all the way over here looks like a rejection now. Okay, so if we do see that follow through, if we do see a candle close underneath 10,187-ish, I'm going to be looking for further downside. That being said, we are spending a lot of time around here too. If you look at the past few 2-day candles, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's 12 days. That's almost 2 weeks. We have closed almost every one of these above 10,150-ish. The longer Bitcoin actually spends time against this resistance ribbon over here, you can call it a resistance ribbon. Okay, for the purposes of this video, we call it the mango resistance ribbon. It is more likely that we pop up over and break it. Okay, consolidation against major levels, the longer we consolidate around there, is actually bullish. Yes, not printing the prettiest picture, but let's go ahead and look at the higher time frames now to see what's going on. Because remember, every 2-day candle, every two-day candle makes a 4-day candle. And if you guys have been following us over here on Mango for a while, you guys know that I put a lot of emphasis on the 4-day. So, and there we have it. Here we have the 4-day candle, right? And the 21 EMA, yes, we lost it in this area over here, but we took it back almost immediately. In yesterday's video, we discussed how this area over here was looking very, very trappy. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hide everything again, especially on the other time frames. When you look at multiple time frames, this area was looking very, very trappy. And look at that, we've closed over the 21 EMA on the 4-day multiple times now. If we retake the 10 SMA on the 4-day now, okay, when are we closing we're closing the 4-day in 2 days. Well, of course, we just closed the 2-day, right? So we're closing our 4-day on the 22nd. Okay, if we can retake the 10 SMA, in my opinion, which is sitting at around 10,208, in my opinion, we are likely to make that move to 11,149. Now remember, this is a 4-day candle, so that's going to take some time to play out. But if we close a 4-day above that 10 SMA, I am going to be looking for further upside. So there is a silver lining to the bearish picture that the lower time frames are printing, and that might be the counter trade that a lot of people might be looking for, because I know that the market is leaning bearish right now, at least from the people that I am talking to, right? At the same time, it's hard to kind of gauge because there are still enough people who are looking for the counter trades. In my opinion, guys, look for the easy trades, look for the higher time frames. And the higher time frames are printing a story right now. And this is where it gets really, really interesting. We just talked about how the 4-day has been closing multiple candles over the 21 EMA, but they are also being closed underneath the 10 SMA, closing over the 21 EMA, closing underneath the 10 SMA, right? You're seeing this get squeezed over here. That kind of looks like a descending triangle, which prints a sort of bearish picture, right? Not sort of bearish picture, but you don't need to be making a trade right now. You can simply wait for this to give you the right sign. If you close the next 2 days above the 10 SMA, okay, that's a break towards the upside of the squeeze formation. If you close underneath the 21 EMA, we close, that's a break towards the downside of the squeeze formation, right? But interestingly enough, this 4-day candle close in the next 2 days, I believe we are sitting on Friday, right? Yeah, we're Friday. This will be lining up with a weekly close. Okay, so if we close anywhere above 10,000, let's say we close above the 10 SMA, which is sitting around 10,280-ish, but you also take out the top of the current wick. Okay, that lines up with the weekly 10 SMA, I do believe. Yes, it does. 10,000. Okay, the weekly 10 SMA is sitting at 10,392. So a resolution of the 4-day candle now, okay, is going to probably also give us indications on the weekly, because if we close bullish, if we take out the top of this wick, which is sitting exactly at 10,392, by the way, if we take out the top of this wick, it would also mean that we are closing the weekly above the 10 SMA. And look at that, we already tested the 10 SMA on the weekly. We tested the Tenkin on the weekly. Do we get now that resolution above the 10 SMA on the weekly? If we get that, right, that would be my big sign, because it would the two time frames that I put a lot of weight on are the 4-day and the weekly. Okay, and I would have bullish indications on both those time frames, and I would be taking a long position on Bitcoin and reducing my altcoin exposure. By the way, this morning too, I reduced my altcoin exposure on this Bitcoin move. I'm already starting to get prepared in case we do see an upward thrust by Bitcoin. Bitcoin is showing signs on the higher time frame for a move towards the upside, right? We have this test of the weekly Tenkin. We see a strong bounce. Now the question is, do we close the week above the 10 SMA? If we close the week above the 10 SMA, it also means that we've retaken the 4-day 10 SMA and have defended this 21 EMA yet again. We've seen strong bounces of this 4-day 21 EMA in the past. Right over here, what was this move? All the way up to, damn, that was like a 35% move, man. Everybody's getting bullish on Ethereum, trading Ethereum because it had a 25% move, 30% move. Well, Bitcoin has been giving us these moves too, right? So don't get greedy, don't FOMO into your Ethereum trades. Wait patiently, because there are other assets that are giving you similar trades, right? You can use Ethereum as a bench to kind of gauge what the market is feeling right now. Here we had another bounce too, by the way, on the 4-day 21 EMA, a 20% bounce here on that one candle. Yes, we came down again, tested it, and bounced for that 35% move. Now the question is, are we going to get that this time around? This time around, if we get anything more than 18%, I think that we're going to go to 16,000 first, and then perhaps even 20,000 by end of year. Who the hell knows? Bitcoin has done crazier things in the past. Okay, so to wrap things up, we can look at the 2-day now, because the 2-day is going to pretty much dictate how the other time frames unfold, the 4-day and the weekly as well. So if the 2-day retakes the 21 EMA, the 10 SMA, the Tenkin, it is likely that we also test the Kijun yet again, sitting at 10,650. If we do that, the 4-day will likely be closing above its wick, which is currently sitting at 10,428. So the 4-day closes above its current high. Anywhere above its current high, it doesn't need to close at 10,600. Then that would have bullish implications, and we could possibly close the weekly above the 10 SMA as well, right? Because the 10 SMA is sitting at 10,377. The reason I say possibly is because I believe the weekly is closing one day after the 4-day, right? Yep, on the 23rd, and the 4-day is closing on the 22nd, right? So the 2-day and the 4-day are going to kind of set the tone, and then on the last day, do we take the 10 SMA? Do we take the 10 SMA on the weekly? That's what we are fighting for here. If you are on the bull side, on the bear side, you want to be clearing this zone over here underneath, which is the Tenkin, 9,700, and the 21 EMA, 9,300ish, right? So on the bear side, you want to be looking at that. But yes, currently, if you're looking only at the weekly, right, the bulls are in a better position because they are closer to the levels that they need to take out, right? Even though the lower time frames, the daily, the 4-hour may have a bearish picture, the freaking weekly currently is at a junction where the bulls may take control. So that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, throw a like, throw a subscribe, hit the bell icon. I'll see you guys in the next video. And hey, don't forget, let's go ahead and look at our ETH trade. How's that doing? A quick update on that. And yes, we did see that follow through to the downside. If you guys were watching me in the previous video, I was looking for a theme to close underneath this dotted horizontal line over here, right? And that's exactly what happened, right? Just like we planned, we got there, tested it, got rejected, and we're seeing the follow through to the downside. I'm really happy about that. Good day so far, 2 good days in a row. Let's see how this plays out. Perhaps you see a bounce over here, perhaps you could see a bounce on the Tenkin, right? That will be another indication of how things play out. Okay, cool. I don't want to talk about the theme too much. This video is supposed to be about Bitcoin and Bitcoin only. See you guys soon.